And here we go. All right, welcome to the call, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Brody says happy Monday. All right, so we just had LDW this weekend. I know Steph and Sabette had LDW last weekend. And all I can say is if you haven't been yet, make sure you get there because it is powerful. This is Brody's second LDW. But tonight, what I want to talk about is recruiting. So with all the people that are on the team, it's pretty much two different ways you fall in the categories. It's either you've been around and you may be stuck, or you're one of the brand new people on the team. In that case, welcome to the team. Just a moment. All right, daddy duties are over. But like I said, we have two different types of people. Either people that are stuck right now and like, I don't know where to begin. And this type of person, you've been in the business for a while and you've probably burnt your circle of influence. You're just one of those people that was so excited that you kind of just going at the mouth and kind of making people second guess what you're doing or wanting to join what you're doing, what you're a part of. And then for the new people, you know, you're starting fresh and it's like, what do I do now that I'm a part of this company? So when it comes to the business, we want to talk about recruiting, right? So by the show of hands, or just put in the chat, how many people have been to LDW? Just put a 1. Who's been to April LDW already? All right, cool. So a lot of people have been. Now, really quick, how many people are looking to really recruit new members? It doesn't matter how many, but how many people have a big vision after LDW? Or if you even knew, how many people have a big vision as far as what you can achieve inside of this business? Just put a 2. All right, cool. So I'm going to talk big vision for everybody. And the reason I'm going to talk big vision is because there's been different phases in our business. And for the people that's been around for years, there was this big boom back in the day. And the cool thing for the new people is it's come around again. So right now, the wave is here. It's time to ride it. All right, so I'm going to talk about recruiting a lot of people in 1 month's time frame. So we're talking about recruiting 20 people in 30 days. All right, so when it comes to that, right, let me get my whiteboard really quick just so I can give some people a visual. Yep.
Maybe we can use this table.
All right, gotta do this really quick.
Okay.
All right, so when it comes to recruiting 20 people in 30 days, I'm going to give you a ratio that, you know, most people know about ratios inside of the business if you've been a part of it. And, you know, everybody has heard about 10-5-1, right? Just a moment, Brody. Look, for people that got kids and do this business, shout out to y'all, because Brody has just begun to cook, and we just got to Brody proof everything. All right, but what I want to give y'all is a visual of what I'm talking about. All right, so 20 in 30 days. Make sure y'all can see it. All right. So I'm going to give y'all some key numbers as far as what this really means as far as the work you're going to have to put in. So we're going to have 100 presentations. We're going to have 80 follow-up. 20 people get enrolled and get started. All right. And then the last part about this is after we get our 20 people, we got to work with the willing. All right. Because for those who've been around a while, you know, just because you sign up people don't mean they're going to stay around, especially immediately. All right. Because some people are just so excited about, you know, being a part of something that they just poof and disappear. Life happened and it just happens. There's nothing wrong with you per se. Like it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with what's going on in their life. But, you know, when we talk about recruiting and recruiting 20 people in 30 days, it's going to take some work. All right. But everybody here is up for it. I know you personally, and I know what you're capable of. All right. So when it comes to what it will take, it's going to take belief. It's going to take confidence. It's going to take willingness, and it's going to take action. All right. So inside of Herbalife, inside of network marketing, it's three main things that we do. All right. We sell products, and, you know, we sell products by word of mouth advertising. All right. It's simple. You already know how if you go to a restaurant and it's really good, you're going to tell somebody about it. It's the same thing with Herbalife. All right. We sell products by word of mouth advertising. The second thing we do is we build and expand a network of distributors. So as you're recruiting, you're building a team of distributors, and you hear the term build wide, that's what we're doing. We're building a wide network of distributors. And then the last thing that we do is we improve the productivity of the network. So we improve the production of all the distributors on our team, AKA leadership. All right, so most people have already experienced these three levels, and you've experienced some type of leadership if you have at least one client or if you have at least one distributor, because it's going to take, you know, like everybody that you talk to, they're following what you do. All right, and then the thing about Herbalife and the thing about network marketing is that the number one thing that I was talking about as far as selling products, that is the job of Herbalife. Because before we can get to building a team, before we can get to building a network of distributors, we have to do the work as far as the job. So this is where we talk about the daily method of operations. All right, and the thing about it is, before you can talk to so many people, do you have a method in your daily calendar where you have a certain amount of people you're talking to? Because like I just mentioned, if we have 100 presentations to do, I mean, we need to be at least talking to 200 people during the course of the month in a 30-day time frame. So do you even have a DMO where you need to be talking to a certain amount of people every day? And don't look to your sponsor to create this for you. This is something that you have to create for yourself based on how much time and effort you're willing to put in for yourself. Because some people are really part-time where they may be doing an hour a day, and some people have more time that they could put in. So, you know, get real with yourself as far as how many people you're willing to talk to a day. And then once you do enough of the work of selling the products, that's when you start to build the business. Because people are attracted to positive energy, they're attracted to excitement, but most importantly, they're attracted to your results, whether it's physical results or the financial results that you're getting. Of course, the mindset comes with that, because the amount, the size of your check is all based on the amount of personal development you're doing. So, show of hands really quick. How many people have been around for at least a year or longer? All right, so I'm more so talking to y'all right now. All right, when it comes to the different areas of who I'm talking to. So the people that have been around for a while, you may have come in, started fast, getting all these clients, distributors, and maybe life happened and it just came to a halt. Or maybe you're one of those people that was so excited, you were like a brand new puppy that's going around every tree and peeing on every tree. And what I mean by that is you were so excited as a brand new distributor, you're like, hey, y'all want to join my business? You're making extra $10,000 a month. For those that have been to a STS or some kind of big event, you hear all these big numbers and you're starting to be like, you're trying to use that as a recruiting tool. So you're talking about how much weight you're going to lose for joining or how much money you're going to make per month. And a lot of people can't really understand making that amount of money when they're not making at least half of that. So brand new distributors, and maybe some can relate. I know I was one of these people. I was so excited when I went to an event and heard the different levels of income, and I heard somebody making $80,000 a month. So of course I'm going around like, hey, who want to do this business with me, because this is possible. And yes, it's possible, but people can't wrap their minds around that when they're bringing in $1,200 to $1,500 a month. What they can wrap their mind around is, well, I can make an extra $500 a month, at most double what they're currently bringing in. But when you add an additional 70,000, 75 plus thousand on what they're making currently, they're automatically going to pyramid scheme, or they just don't even want to talk to you about it. I've been through that. If you've been through that, you understand what I'm talking about. Or you rub people the wrong way, because there's this saying as far as some will, some won't, somewhat next. And it's easy to get into that mindset because of what you heard at an event. But if this is a relationship business, that's going against what you're talking about. And it rubs people the wrong way, to now you've kind of lost that connection with those people, because for those that have been around for a while, you know that people come back and they're ready to get started again. Or you've had some people that go from client to distributor to back to a preferred member. And as long as you're keeping that relationship and that communication open, there's always a possibility for people to come back, because this is a relationship business. So for the people that you may be stuck, or you may be burned all those bridges with the people that are the closest to you, we have to rebuild that market. And what it's going to take is, number one, we've heard it at events, apologize. So if you've had clients that you didn't really keep up with, we send that message, I'm sorry for being not the best coach, but I'm ready to get back serious if you're willing to give me the opportunity. And for those people that you tried to recruit into the business and you kind of rubbed them the wrong way, just apologize. And it's okay to apologize, because the thing is you were so excited, and you didn't really know much information at that time. You just heard a number and you went with it. So just apologize for the excess of excitement that you had, because it'll help warm that relationship back up. And then for a lot of people, like it's kind of two types of people. There are givers and there are takers. if you've been a taker your whole life where you're always connecting with people for what you can get, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you. So now this is where you humble yourself and you become more of a giver. And it's like connecting with these people again after you apologize, asking them, what can you do for them? Maybe it's picking them up from somewhere, or you know, whatever, helping them do something, helping them move. If you've been the person where somebody asks you to help them move and you're like, nah, I can't do it, you're a taker. If you didn't have a legitimate reason for not being able to help because you're looked at as a friend or somebody close to them. So like Chris said, add more value by becoming a giver. And the thing about this whole process of rebuilding your warm market is it's going to take 3 to 6 months. All right, because a lot of times when you burn this bridge, you haven't talked to them in months or longer. So it's going to take time. And then when appropriate, after you've already started, warming that relationship back up, approach them for support. Because there's nothing wrong with supporting somebody else. And honestly, there are so many people around us that are waiting to support us if we ask. But of course, if you're more of a giver, they're more willing to give to you. So once you started to get back in good with that relationship, don't be afraid to ask for support. And what I mean by that is, I'll give you more of a script. So, obviously you've reconnected with a friend or somebody, somebody close to you, family member. Would you be willing to at least buy my product and try it out? Because you got to think that, in the mind of, if you just opened up a restaurant, you're inviting to that all, it's going to be invites constantly to people like, hey, come out to my restaurant. You don't have to buy much, just get an appetizer. It's the same way with your business. When you're asking for support, you just want people to try it out. Because ultimately, that's what network marketing is, just connecting with people to see if they can try out something for you. So don't be afraid to ask. And you can say, I'm not expecting a big commitment or anything. Just try it one time, get a 30-day supply, and let me know how you like it. I'd really appreciate it, and we go from there. So for those that are newer, that's something that you can utilize, by adding it to your playbook. Because you're brand new. And there's this excitement, but there's also a little bit of fear, possibly, when it comes to just talking to people or pretty much asking for money. But when you ask for somebody to support you, it's a whole nother story. Like I said, most people are willing to support. You just have to ask. And then add this in there. In the meantime, what can I do for you? Do you need assistance with anything? So for those that have been around, you may be stuck. You may have, burned all the bridges around you to those closest to you. And the thing is we weren't so much educated on all the information that we were receiving. We heard it, we got excited about it, and we started telling everybody. But the most important thing that you can understand as a distributor is people don't know what Herbalife is automatically. Most don't. I had never heard of it before somebody asked me to try it. So not everybody doesn't know about Herbalife. So, the best thing that you can do is provide information that's going to educate them and give them a better understanding of what you do and what you're a part of. All right. And then for somebody that burned all your bridges, you're stuck, you just need a jump start. You're like you're in your car, battery died, it's raining, you just need a jump. to get you going again, to make you feel a little bit better. So this is where you got to move heaven and earth to get one person. So by a show of hands, how many people have recruited at least one distributor? All right. How did it feel just by the expression on your face? How did it feel when you signed somebody up? I was excited. I see. I was excited because it's like somebody said yes. Now I can breathe. So we might have to get into that mode of we got to do whatever we can to get that one new distributor. But of course, you got to make sure that when you approach people, they have an understanding of what you're a part of and what you're doing. And like I said, if people are willing to support you if you ask, there might be somebody near you that's looking for an opportunity to make some extra money. Not many people are going to say no to extra money, even if it's an extra $100 a month. So all it is trying to get that one person. And then once you get that one person, right, you now have access to an additional 200 people through them. And what I mean by that is we have a Herbalife. Herbalife is amazing because they provide us with all kinds of tools. So we have a memory jogger that you can download on My Herbalife. Just a moment. We have a memory jogger you can download. It gives you a list of everybody you've ever known in life that you can connect with. Somebody sold you your car. They sold you a bike. You helped them move. It might be your dentist. It might be a doctor. It might be something. Somebody. There are so many connections that you have that you don't even realize that you have. But the thing is once you have somebody, you now have access to all of their people. You just have to be willing to ask. So if you have at least one client and you're helping them get to their result, they're going to be willing to provide you with at least one referral. And if you're really helping them get results, they're going to open up their whole black book and give it to you. Like, look, I got a few people that can lose a few pounds or maybe even earn some extra money. But you have to be willing to ask, and this is a part of the business that doesn't happen enough. The referral part, the asking for referrals. So don't be afraid to do that. And then another key point, when you finally get that one person, don't be like a mama bird and push it out the nest. All right, you signed up. You're no longer a client. You're a distributor. Go do some work. We've all been there. I've done it a few times. I understand now that it wasn't the best move because people are excited when they signed up and they need a little guidance. They want help. They need a better understanding of what to do before they feel confident enough to fly. So take a look at how you're training your new people, how you're talking to your new clients and setting them up, your new preferred members. Is there a system that you follow that you can duplicate to your downline? So when you get that one person, right? So by a show of hands, who's new within like the last 6 months? All right. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Welcome to the team. All right, so I'm gonna talk to you real quick. You just signed up, right? Just signed up, brand new. You're gonna have this excitement about yourself. I already know it. And you're gonna get somebody to sign up probably this week, if not 5. Right? So the thing you need to understand is you are the expert to them. You might not know much, but you are the expert. And again, to them, to the brand new person that you just signed up, they expect you to know everything. So my advice to those new people: connect with your sponsor, connect with your coach. Make sure you understand the flow that you need to put people through, as well as yourself, because you're still going through it right now. So the question for everybody is, do you have a specific flow for the brand new person that signs up tonight after this call? What are their steps they're going to take first? Do you have a flow for the brand new person that you're talking to that's interested in getting started? Is it going to be a trial pack? Are they going to get started on a full program? Are they signing up as a brand new preferred member right off the bat? What is your flow for that brand new person? But again, everybody that you sign up, every new client that you get, they're looking at you like you're the expert. So you got to make sure you present that way. And don't be afraid to let them know, look, I'm not sure yet, but let me check with so-and-so and I'll get back to you. And make sure you get back with them. Because again, you're the expert, you're the superstar, and you got to make sure you present that way. Because you're building something special, and you want to make sure your foundation is strong enough to keep it going. All right, most important thing, you've all heard it before if you've been to an event: tell, show, try, do. First you tell them, show them how to do it, have them try it, and now they're just doing it. But this is the best way to learn. Now, that took care of all the people that's been around for a while, and hopefully that helped you with something. Now, this is for everybody, because every event I go to, I feel like a brand new distributor. I don't know if that's the case for y'all, but LDW has me like I'm starting from scratch, and I feel like so excited to keep it going. So everybody has been in high school for the most part. All right. So for instance, freshman year, I was class of 2005. Right. I already knew when I was graduating. Right now, we got to think in the mindset of, we need to bring in the class of 2019. All right. And what I mean by that is, we got to bring in a group of people. All right. The thing about success is that it loves speed. So how many people have ever heard of slow and steady wins the race? Right. Y'all remember the cartoon where the tortoise and the hare were racing, and somehow the tortoise won. Slow and steady does not win the race. It makes you hungry. It leaves you starving. So there has to be some kind of, speed, for lack of a better word, about yourself. You got to get excited. You got to get in action. You got to get moving. All right. And there is no action in slow and steady. And what I mean by slow and steady is, you might be that person that's been bringing in one client a month, one distributor a month. And a lot of this stuff I'm talking to myself. I'm just sharing it with y'all. So it's not going to help you build a sustainable business, because ultimately the name of the game, and something that we heard over and over at LDW, is that active supervisors is job security. So that check, we got to make sure that we're building active supervisors. And slow and steady is not going to do that. Because as y'all know, the law of ratios, if you're bringing in only a few amount of people, not many people are going to stay around. If you don't have not that many people when they start, that means they probably gone. But if you bring in a group, not all will stay, but some will. So the thing about, you got slow and steady, and then you got fast. So for slow and steady, I think the meanest thing that you can do is bring in one person at a time. And the reason I say that is because back when I started, it was a group of us that came in at the same time on the team. And it feels like I could connect and relate to those people way more than the people that had already been on the team. Because all of us came in, we didn't know much, but we're learning together. All right, so that one person that you bring in every other month, they feel isolated, they feel alone, because everybody's in the loop of things and they understand. And I'm over here like, I mean, that's exciting that, you know, people are doing 15,000 and stuff, but that's a little bit too much for me. But if you have a group of people that come in at the same time, they get to learn each other, they get to learn together, they grow together, they learn about each other, they're building that relationship, and that's that camaraderie. And then you also got that sibling rivalry, whether it's the new class that came in compared to the old heads, or the sibling rivalry amongst the new people. Because as y'all know, a little friendly competition don't hurt. So that's the cool thing about bringing in bunches. So when you're thinking about, you know, bringing in a bunch at one time, that's at least 5. You bring in 5 at one time, after a while you might still have 2. And that's just the law of averages. That's how the ratios work. But just understand, those other people will eventually come back, even if it takes years. I have people coming back from 5 years ago. They ready to be a client again. So as long as you keep that relationship open with them, that connection with them, they'll be back. It's just a lot of people don't leave Herbalife and get healthier. They don't leave Herbalife and start making more money. If you've been in network marketing and they leave one place, they're going to end up in network marketing again. But they're going to always come back to what worked for them in the first place. All right, so when it comes to you know, the presentations, right? We got to, if we know the goal is 20 and 30 days, and we know we got to do 100 presentations. The question right now most people are going to have is like, okay, well, what is the presentation that we present to them? Like, what is it that we're going to have them do, or, you know, whatever. So you got options. All right. You got HOMs, you got STS, or you have your own personal knowledge of the business. So the cool thing is Herbalife provides us with a link that, you know, an online HOM that we can provide to other people as far as the presentation for the business. All right. GreatUSaBiz.com. GreatUSaBiz.com. All right. So if you're not the most confident yet in what you're talking about with the business, you always have this resource available to you. All right. And it's not about what you know, it's about what can duplicate. So just because you can sell a $300 order doesn't mean the brand new distributor can come in and do the same thing. Just like you might be able to recruit 5 people in a day, but that brand new distributor, it might take a little bit of time. So when it comes to you presenting the business to somebody, you can do it confidently in person, but this brand new person who doesn't know much, they have this resource available to them. All right. But the thing is the more resources that you have that isn't you, meaning other resources do the work for you, all you got to do is hype it up. So if you get them to an STS and they're sitting at the HOM, like after the whole presentation, right? It's 3 different things that'll happen. So like, for instance, if you sent out this link, the GreatUSaBiz.com, to people, you know, for the presentation, all right, there's 3 things that can possibly happen. All right. So You've already set up, before you even sent them this link, you already asked them, when they can watch it, if they're sure that they can actually watch this, and then you set a time up when you can call and talk about what they just saw. All right, so before you even send the link to them, if this is the way you're going to do it, make sure that you've already set up with them prior that they agreed to watch it. You have a certain date and time that they said they were going to watch it by, and you've already set up a date where you've scheduled, where you can talk to them about what they saw. So one of three things is going to happen. If they don't answer, you are a professional. Leave a message. So it might sound something like, "Hey, this is Chuck. I'm just calling you back, as you instructed, at this time, at this number. Please get back to me when you get a chance." All right, so very professional, straightforward. They know exactly who's calling and what about, because they are the ones that set up the time for you. You're just following up, like you said you would. All right. The second way, all right, you've connected with them at a certain time. You're on the phone, and it's like they haven't watched it yet. All right. So what do I say right now if they haven't watched it? Again, this is not through text message. Most people don't answer the phone, but you've already set up this time, this time appointment with them, this phone appointment with them. So you're expecting to do everything that they said they would. All right. So don't argue with them. Don't call them out. Well, you said you were going to do this and you didn't. All that isn't necessary. So what you say is, okay, no problem. Life happens. It happens. But what's the next time that you can actually, sit down, watch it without any distractions, and then also a time that we can connect again and talk about it. So all you're gonna do is reschedule. No biggie. The thing about Herbalife is our schedule, our calendar is technically our boss. Because if we have stuff scheduled, that means we got work. We got money-making activities scheduled. So all we're doing is just putting the schedule. And again, we're going off of what they tell us. So don't suggest a certain time or a certain day. Just be like, when's the next time that you're able to watch this? And then when can we, connect again on the phone and talk about what you saw? And then the last type is they've actually watched it. All right. So what you need to understand about those who have watched it, or if you're presenting the presentation in person, questions are your best friend. Questions and objections are your best friend, because people are always going to have questions about products. All right. So obviously you can ask them, the number one thing to ask is, what did you like most about what you saw? The reason you ask that is because if you ask did you like the video? Yes or no? It's a closed-ended question. It's going to end right there. And then most people are naturally negative. So if you say, what do you think about the video? They're not going to say much. But if you kind of guide them with, well, what did you like most about what you saw? Now they can actually pick out the positives that they heard that they can, talk to you about. So if it was the income, if it was the products, now you have a direction to go in when it comes to the conversation, moving forward. So now if they're interested in the products and getting started, you already have a flow as far as how to get a client started. So boom, here we go. If they're interested in the business, if they love the income that they heard, and they have a certain income that, a goal for themselves, you can talk about that. And then if they are interested in the business and they've given you a goal as far as the amount of income that they have, that they want to make, and the time that they can put in, you know, your response is, okay, if I can help you make this amount of money in this amount of time, when would you be ready to start? When would you be ready to sign up? So everything is laid out right there for them. They liked what they saw. They heard what, you know, they heard what they like to hear as far as, okay, well, if Mama Kelly's gonna help me make this money by this time frame, right? And it has to be a realistic time frame to make a certain amount of money. They can't just be like, well, I want to make 10,000 in 2 months. So if they say, well, you know, I wouldn't mind making an extra $500 over the next 2 months, you already know what it takes to get there. So if I can help you make an extra $500 over the next 2 months, when would you be ready to start? Because we can get this done. And that's the confidence and belief that you have in yourself and the knowledge of this business to help them get started. Because the best thing that we can do as sponsors is put money in their pocket ASAP. So I'm gonna open it up as far as, you know, questions and answers. If anybody has any questions that, you know, is jumping out at you, feel free to ask. Because I'm telling you now, like, if you went to LDW, which most of y'all went, it lit a fire under your butt that was gasoline was already there. Like, it's just hot, you ready to go, you ready to get into action. And everything that you heard at the event was meant for you to hear. So it's up to us to get in action. And then the most important thing about you know, getting in the mindset of recruiting 20 people in 30 days is the action plan. All right, so you don't just wake up and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this tomorrow. It's gonna take time. So right now it's the 15th of April. All right, and for those who need to rebuild that warm market, give yourself about 2 weeks to start working on those relationships before you go full throttle. So first, set the date. All right, it's gonna be May 1st. I'm gonna get this thing started. Declare how many people you're gonna recruit in that month of May. Declare it to the team. All right, because they're gonna help keep you accountable to what you said you're gonna accomplish. All right, if you have family, if you're married, if you have kids that understand you, make sure you talk to them about what mommy and daddy's about to get done, so they understand mommy and daddy's going to be away. You know, this is where a little bit more of our time is going to be at. And then, of course, if you got kids, let them know we got some fun stuff planned after mommy and daddy takes care of this situation. So if they want to go do something, they want to go have some fun, let them, you know, help them understand that if they allow you to take this time to do what you said you're going to do, and you got to make sure you do it, that they get something out of it too, because now you're enrolling them to help keep you accountable. So now they're like, mommy, are you doing what you said you were going to do? Did you help somebody get started today? You got a new client? So, you know, set up whatever you need to set up and have that conversation with people. Figure out what you're willing to sacrifice over the next 30 days when you know, from the start date. If that's cutting out the Game of Thrones for a month, I saw that all over the timeline. If it's something coming up or something that you do regularly that you feel you can sacrifice time away from while you build this thing up, because you got to understand, okay, well, if I take an hour away from this thing a week and now I'm making an extra $2,000 on my next check, is it worth it? So figure out what you're willing to sacrifice, and then warm up your list. That list of people that you're already creating right now. Again, we got to talk to 200 people to get to that 100 presentations. So that warm market that we burnt, start just connecting with them. Don't talk about business. Don't talk about your products. Just connect with them on a more personal level. How has everything been going with you? If you got them on social media, go look at their page and see what they've been up to and bring that up in conversation. Because you want to start warming this market up before you get into full throttle flow. So that gives you a couple weeks to a few weeks to get started on that. And then once you're ready to go, tunnel vision, you all in. But it is so possible to get this done. I see people on here who's been around for a minute, and I've seen how many people you recruited when you had your mindset on it. I saw how an event could turn somebody into obsessed, and they went and got work done. I remember when we were doing Recruit 5 back in the day, Build 5. It was just promotion after promotion, but for those that were around then, you know how it feels. Let's get back to that mode. And for the new people, it is possible. All you have to do is understand a little bit more. Educate yourself a little bit more. Stop waiting on your sponsor and stop waiting on other people to tell you what this is. Go look up the information for yourself. Herbalife gives us everything that we possibly need to build this business from scratch. It don't matter what state, it don't matter what country, we have it all. We just have to go get it. That online HOM is in English and Spanish. GreatUSABiz.com. They also have a flip book online, English and Spanish. There are no barriers. You just gotta go get it. That's it. Go find the information. All right, but we don't have any questions or anything. We're gonna end this call. The most important thing right now that everybody needs to know is our Upline President's team member, Jerry Graham, set out, he set up all kinds of promotions as we go into Extravaganza. Extravaganza is the biggest event in the world to us. It's the Super Bowl if you like football. It's the finals if you like basketball. It's the Grammys. It's the biggest event that you could possibly think of that you don't want to miss. And Jerry Graham is giving away swag, branded swag. He's giving away cash. He's setting us up powerfully for the next vacation that we're going on. It's so much that he's making available to us. We just got to do it. How many people, by a show of hands, have ever heard of Qualify for Everything? Choose what you want to go for and do it. But we have a president's team call next week with an amazing person. All right, the only qualification for it is 1,000 documented volume points by the end of tonight. All right, so 12 a.m. if you're on the West Coast, 3 a.m. if you're on the East Coast. Get it done some way, somehow, because it's not a call that you want to miss. And when I say that, I mean it, because for those that know Jim Rohn, this guy was given the key to go into the Jim Rohn library and watch whatever he wanted to watch. Herbalife got this vault with all of Jim Rohn's clips, tapes, trainings, and I promise you it sounds like you're listening to Uncle Jim, just the upbeat Uncle Jim, for those that know Uncle Jim. So make sure you qualify for the call, get into action, start warming up those relationships. It's all up to us, all right? Our success and our failure, it's on us. So I'm excited to see everybody going crazy qualifying for this call. I can't wait to see it going crazy in the chats. Look, it's going down. LDW was fire. We getting into action. Who's going to be on the list at the end of the year for, I'll put it like this. So for those that have been to the Mark Q, or if you've heard about the Mark Hughes Awards and the honor system and all the honors event, right? So Herbalife gives away a percentage of all the earnings from that year. We have the opportunity to qualify for earnings from Jerry Graham for the year. It's wide open. The race is wide open. Who wants some extra cash? And then also extravaganza. All right, make sure you get your ticket. What, by Friday? It's still $90. I promise you. I don't know what the price goes up to. I just know it. I just know I'd rather pay 90 than 200 or whatever it goes up to. So get your stuff together, map it out, get with your sponsor, get with your team, figure out the hotel situation, figure out the ticket. Just get the ticket and figure the rest out later. That's the most important thing. All right. Also for the party. Look, everything, just buy your ticket and figure the rest out later. All right. But everybody have an amazing night. I'm fired up for each one of y'all. I'll see y'all later. I'm excited. Let's go. Peace.